Hey guys, welcome back. Come with me to work on this Christmas cake pop order. So some of these cake pops are going to be for an order and the rest is going to be for a Christmas Village pop-up that I have coming up. Here are the molds that we will be using. This one is just a regular cake pop mold that I got from Amazon, linked in the description box. This one is the one I used to make the Christmas trees, and it is from My Little Cake Pop. Again, it will be linked down below. And this one is the Snowman mold that I almost forgot to show you guys, but I took a little picture and inserted it here just for you guys. Again, it's from My Little Cake Pop. Now for the stocking, these are called cake pop stamps, and I got these off of a website called Bread Stamps, and I will leave it down in the description box. But these are super simple to use and they have so many amazing designs, so definitely go check them out. Now for our sticks, I am just using the regular cake pop sticks. Sorry, they're actually lollipop sticks, but they work for cake pops. And here is my dough. I am using vanilla cake, and that is it for the molds. And before we get started, first things first, let's make sure our hands are squeaky clean and dried. Now let's get started. So to start, I am going to be rolling my vanilla cake pop dough into a ball, and you want to make sure to apply pressure to your ball because you want your ball to not fall apart. So using your palms, just make sure that when you are rolling it into the shape of a palm that you are applying pressure. That way you have a nice, firm, compact ball, just like that. Now I'm just going to be placing the ball inside of the Christmas tree mold and pressing down firmly, removing the excess. Once the excess is removed, we are going to carefully take out the cake pop dough, and you're going to see that there's like little cake pop dough that needs to be smoothed out and around the edges. So that is what I am doing here with my fingertip. And you should get a perfect little Christmas tree with no cracks. And the secret to achieving the perfect little Christmas tree with no cracks in it is the amount of pressure that you apply when you are rolling your cake pop dough. So I always think when I am rolling my cake pop dough that it's kind of like a little arm workout. You are going to feel a little bit tired. It's going to work out your muscles, but it is necessary to apply the pressure if you want a firm and compact cake pop. That way, when it's time to insert the stick into the cake pop, your cake pop dough will not crack. And I am just going to repeat this process until I have 50 Christmas tree cake pops. All right, and we are halfway there, but now it is time for a break. And of course, what is a break without a Poppy? No, I am not sponsored by Poppy. I am just very obsessed with them. If you have not tried them, try them. They are amazing. If you are a soda addict, try Poppy. It'll change your life. You will stop drinking soda and you will start drinking a healthy alternative. So, Poppy, sponsor me. So we are nearing the last few cake pops, and now it is time to heat up our chocolate and insert our cake pop sticks. So I am just going to dip my cake pop stick a little bit into the chocolate, using it as glue, and inserting the stick inside the cake pop, making sure that at least 3/4 of the cake pop has the stick inside of it. You don't want the stick to just barely be inside the cake pop, because when it's time to dip the cake pop inside the chocolate and remove the excess, the cake pop will fall off of the stick. So please make sure that when inserting your cake pop sticks that you do have the cake pop stick far enough into the cake pop that when you try to remove the excess chocolate, it will not fall off. So here we are dipping the cake pop, and you can see that I am tapping pretty hard on my wrist, and my cake pop dough is not going anywhere. So that is why you want to make sure that your cake pop stick is inside the cake pop dough a good amount and not just a little bit, if that makes sense. And here we have it, a perfectly dipped cake pop Christmas tree. Now I'm just going to set it to dry and move on to the rest. And I will repeat this process until half of these cake pops are dipped in this green chocolate. And thank God for fast forward, because we would be here forever. This was 2 hours of content and I got it down to 27 minutes. Thank you, Lord. But now it is time to decorate our cake pops. And these are just little stars from Wilton that I bought at Walmart, and nonpareils that I bought at Hobby Lobby. And just look at how beautiful these little sprinkles are. They are like the perfect little Christmas combination. So here I am just cutting the tip of my piping bag, and you want to make sure to cut the tip just a tad bit because you do not want too much chocolate to come out. So now I am going to start making these straight lines across the cake pop. And these are going to be the Christmas light strings. And now just using the little nonpareil sprinkles, I'm going to sprinkle them over the little lines that I just made. Doing the same thing to the back of the cake pop. And your little Christmas tree should look like this. How beautiful. And now I am just going to add the little star. So using a little bit of the green chocolate, I'm going to go ahead and glue on the little star. And you should have a little cake pop that looks like this. And I am going to repeat this process to the rest of these green Christmas trees. So now that all our green Christmas trees are decorated, I am going to go ahead and start dipping the rest in this beautiful pink chocolate that is from Chef Master. And look at these beautiful sprinkles that I'm going to use to decorate them. They are just perfect. And for these pink Christmas trees, I am going to be decorating them a little bit different. I am going to be drizzling lines all across the cake pop. And then I am going to be adding the sprinkles all over the cake pop instead of just on the lines that I just made with chocolate. And adding the star. So here you can see I'm just drizzling the chocolate all over the cake pop, sprinkling the sprinkles, and adding the stars. And these are so cute, you guys. These are like the perfect little girly girl cake pop. And here is a close-up of how the cake pop is turning out. I think she's just the cutest. What do you guys think? So now I will be repeating the same process to the rest of these cake pops. Now that all our Christmas trees are decorated, we are going to move on to our snowman. So I'm just inserting the dough inside of the snowman mold. And I am just trying again. I guess I didn't like the way this one came out. But this one should come out looking pretty good. So go ahead and apply pressure to the mold. Remove the excess and you should have a beautiful little snowman. And for the sides, you just want to use your fingers and dab them until they are incorporated with the rest of the dough. And there you have it, a cute little snowman. Now I am going to do this step again if you guys want to get a second look of how I do this. So just using my palms to form a little ball. Again, applying enough pressure so that my ball is nice and firm. Once I feel that I have a good firm ball, I'm going to place it inside the mold and apply pressure to the mold, removing the dough excess. Now I'm just going to remove the dough from the mold. And this is what it should be looking like. It's perfect on both sides. Now just for the sides, we are going to use our fingertips to smash in the little extra weird little lines that we have going on. And I'm going to repeat this step until I have all my little snowmans. Now that we have our snowmans made, I am just going to be making these little balls, just regular cake pop balls. And I'm just going to be using the remaining dough that I have to make these balls. But these are super simple. Again, the trick is the amount of pressure that you apply to these balls. And this mold helps you to make sure that all your cake pops are the same size. So that is the benefit of using this mold. You don't have to use it. You can make the ball on your own and just use a scale to weigh it. And that way you know that they're all perfectly the same size. But I feel like this mold is a lot quicker and simpler. I must have been working too fast because I forgot to record when I am dipping these little balls into my chocolate. So I used milk chocolate, and using the nonpareils that we used for the Christmas trees, I sprinkled them on top of the chocolate. And that was it. Very simple design and quick and easy. I didn't make much of these. I believe I only made 10 of these, and that was just to finish up the remaining dough that I had left from making these snowmans. But look at these perfect balls. They are nice and firm. There is no cracks in them. I love it. And the way I make my dough has also a lot to do with the cake pop dough not having any cracks in them. And if you guys want to see how I make my dough, just leave me a comment down below and I would be glad to show you guys. So I am just going to finish up with these little balls, and then we will move on to our stockings. Alright, so now that we are done with the little cake pop balls, we are going to move on to our stockings. For our stockings, I am using chocolate cake pop dough, and it was a little cold, so I am just massaging it, trying to warm it up with my hands. And now I am placing the dough inside the cake pop stamp. And when I first bought this, I am not going to lie, I was like, how in the world do you use this? But it is actually very simple. So you place the other piece inside the stamp, and then you fill it with dough. Here I am just applying pressure to it. That way all my dough is compact and inside of the stamp. Just like this. You want to make sure that your dough is nicely compact inside of the stamp. Now applying pressure to the little handle, you are going to release the dough from the stamp, and you should get the perfect shape of whatever stamp you are using. So here I am going to try one more time. And I am just warming up my dough with my body temperature, placing my dough inside of the stamp. And make sure you're pressing, making sure that the stamp is completely filled with your dough. Remove any excess dough. And with your thumb or with any flat surface, you can apply pressure and make sure that your dough is nicely compact. Now, applying pressure to the little handle, you will release your dough. And you should have the perfect little stocking. Look how beautiful this is. I love it. So it was intimidating at first, but once you figure out how to use it, it's super easy. And here I am just placing the sticks inside of all the little stockings. And I did place the stick at a little angle. You can place the stick however you like, but I just made sure that mine was at a little angle. And now I'm just going to repeat this process to the rest of the stocking. So now it is time to dip our stockings into the chocolate. And I am just using red chocolate, dipping them, removing the excess chocolate, and placing them back on my cake pop stand to dry. Remember to pop any air bubbles that might form. That way they don't dry with an air bubble. You want your cake pops to be perfectly dipped into the chocolate with no air bubbles or imperfection. So now I am going to be applying these sticks inside of my little snowmans and getting ready to dip them. And now for the snowmans, I am going to be using Great Value sanding sugar in white. And this is perfect, you guys. It gives it like a little glitter effect that I love. So you're just going to place it into a bowl. Grab your little snowmans, dip him into the white chocolate. Remove the excess chocolate. And again, I am tapping pretty hard on my wrist and the dough is not going anywhere. Once we have removed the excess chocolate, we are going to be covering it with the sanding sugar. And once our snowman is completely covered in sanding sugar, we are going to set him aside to dry and repeat the process on the remaining snowmans. Here is a close-up of how your snowman should be looking. Look how cute he is. And as I wait for the rest of the snowmans to dry, I am going to go ahead and dip my stockings into my white chocolate. And this is going to be the top of the stocking. You just want to dip it a little bit into the white chocolate, just the tip of the stocking. And using the sanding sugar, I'm going to sprinkle that over the white chocolate. And it should give it the perfect little Santa stocking. Now with the sprinkles that I bought at TJ Maxx, I am going to be placing the little characters onto the wet chocolate. And you want to move quickly because you want to make sure that your chocolate is still wet and that the little characters will stick. If you have tweezers, I recommend you using them because it was pretty hard to get them to stay on the stocking. So tweezers do make the process move a lot faster. And your stocking should look something like this. How beautiful. I love it. This is the sprinkles that I am using. I got it at TJ Maxx and it has Christmas trees, candy canes, snowflakes, and gingerbreads. So now I will repeat the same process to the remaining stockings. Now that we are done with our stockings, we're going to set them aside to dry, and we are going to use our red chocolate to draw a little scarf around our snowman so that we can give him some character. Again, you want to cut your piping bag tip just a little bit because you don't want too much chocolate to come out. So here I am just drawing the scarf around the edge of the big ball and the little ball. And it's super simple, you guys. I'm not doing too much detail on the snowman because the more details you do, the more time consuming it is and the more you would have to charge. So just cute little simple details is perfect when you're working on bulk orders. That way you save yourself some time, but you also save your customers some money. And I'm just going to repeat this process to the remaining snowmans. Now for the eyes and the buttons, I am just using milk chocolate and just dabbing some chocolate for the eyes and the buttons. Super easy and simple. You can do whatever you want to your snowman. You can add a hat, a nose, mouth. You can do whatever you like. The possibilities are endless. Just remember that the more detail is the more time you're going to spend making these cake pops. So now that all our cake pops are done, I am going to go ahead and package them all individually. This machine I bought from Amazon a couple years ago. I'm going to try to find it so I can link it in the description box for you. And it is very easy, very convenient. I love it. It keeps your cake pops nice and fresh. So it is highly worth the investment. And here is a close-up of all our cake pops. Look how beautiful they turned out. I love them all. And my customer was very excited to receive them. And they did very well at the pop-ups. So I hope you guys recreate them. And if you do, let me know down in the comments how they turned out. But thank you guys so much for watching this video. I appreciate all your comments, likes, and subscribing. May God's peace be with you all. God bless you, and I'll see you guys in the next one.